All right. So how you doing?
Doing well, keeping busy, keeping
Yeah,
overly busy.
good, I
I
guess.
need I need you to come help me fix turntables and stuff.
Oh man. I probably could swing that. I've been kind of uh it's been kind of crazy around the household here. Or else I would be helping more. I got my wife's had some issues and she's got some memory issues because of a surgery she had. So it's been kind of hard to
Oh,
turn
yeah.
loose, but I would like to help. Maybe I could come over and help you with some turntables, that's for sure.
Well, if you want to make some money, he's got a lot of stuff. He just picked up an amp that probably make $100 or so on.
Yeah.
It just needs some caps redone. It's
Okay.
a if you decide you want to do that, let me know and I'll introduce you to him and just be warned, you got to keep saying no because I
Well,
keep telling
I do know how to say no anymore, that's for sure. So,
I've got, but I've made, I think over $1,000 already just repairing stuff from him,
oh wow.
which is amazing because I mean, it's allowed me to um, treat that as fun money and go buy some tools that I've always wanted.
Yeah, I know that's always nice. Yeah, you keep recommending tools and I keep buying them. That's yeah, I got that little, where is it? Here it is, this little guy.
Oh, the tweezers?
Oh yeah, that's
Aren't,
that's really cool.
aren't they awesome?
I know, I love this little thing. Yeah.
I use
Not
it
and
daily.
not to mention the
Oh, there
AM.
you go.
I love that thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, those tweezers, they work great for doing ESR measurements because if you go across the cap, it'll tell you the ESR on them
Yeah.
immediately. So you don't
Yeah.
need a separate meter.
Yeah.
Uh, I
That's
use
cool.
that thing every day. I swear.
Yeah, it's just good to get into a circuit where it's kind of hard. Mica caps don't go bad very often. I hardly ever replace one, but I always
Right.
like to check them. Just clip it right on and boom. You know,
Did you upgrade the firmware on it?
have not.
I,
No.
I would recommend doing that, at least on the one I got. You probably got a newer one, but it wouldn't show the diode being reversed, because if you do a diode, it'll actually tell you what direction the diode is when you connect to it.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Okay.
and when I first got it, it didn't do that. I did a firmware upgrade, and then it starts showing the direction of the diode.
Well, I'll have to try that on a die. I haven't, I don't work on a whole bunch of solid state stuff, so
Right.
most of the stuff is,
Yeah, putting it across
pre-war.
a 5U4 won't help.
Yeah, I know. Or an 80. Yeah, yeah,
You're an 80.
yeah. I'm just looking. I know I've got diodes. I have LEDs. What do I
Yeah,
tell you about an LED?
yeah, it'll light the LED for you.
Oh, will it? Wow. Okay. Well,
Hey, Rick.
I have to get on a ladder to get to all my stuff up above. I pulled the car in the garage uh, by mistake, so I've got no room in here. My workbench is pretty small, as you can see,
Yeah.
and yeah. So, yeah, nevertheless, I squeezed in here for the meeting. Yeah, the tuning eye tubes are interesting. I The radio I just worked on, this Silvertone, uh, had a tuning eye in it, and sure enough, it was bad. So I was able to find it. Actually, Blake turned me on to a substitute. So, and I had those installed. So, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing real good, real good. Yeah. Looking forward to learning all about these tuning eye tubes.
So, Rick, did that work for you on your radio? Did it fit?
Yeah, it's a little bit narrow, but I'm going to make it work. Um, yeah, about tuning eyes. I did a radio with a tuning eye and had to get a new one from Mike and a replacement. And it was the right tube and it lights up, but it doesn't move when tuning. So I got to figure that out today.
Did you check the resistor in the socket yet?
I haven't checked anything on it.
Okay. There's a 1 mega ohm resistor typically built into the socket. And if that is blown, then the tube won't move at all.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I found that on this Silvertone I was working. Actually, it's supposed to be 250K according to the schematic, but it measured about over a meg. So I replaced it and it brightened it up real nice once I did that. So yeah.
I've also got a German radio, a Grundig, that was given to me by a neighbor. It's a great big 220-volt thing. It's got a tuning eye on it. I have not fired it up. I got to get a step up transformer for it to make it run. But I don't know, the cheap ones. Has anybody bought a cheap step up transformer that you plug into the wall and it gives you 220?
I haven't.
Generally speaking, though, those sets have a way to convert to 110 or 120 or whatever. If you look in the back.
I'll take a look. This was given to me by my neighbor who emigrated from Germany. It's the family radio.
Yeah, it's just that, they made them for export and everything. And so they just about all had transformers, and then they had some way to change the taps on the transformers.
Yeah, I'll check and I'll look and see.
Yeah, it looks like Mike Farabee has one.
That's a nice one.
This is a Fillmore ST200, and it allows you to plug into 110 or 220 using the plug. If you want to look, if you ever find one of these, they're pretty nice. And then on the back, you can change what the input voltage is.
Well, I'll have to keep my eyes peeled. It's the only radio I've got that's 220. I see if it's worthy of a step-up transformer.
Yeah, it's called a ST200 by Fillmore.
Okay.
I don't know where I got it.
They also make things for people traveling too. So I know I have one going the other direction that would go from 220 down, and presumably I could probably run that in reverse with changing the plugs and stuff.
They've got one on Amazon. It's it looks like a wall wart. You stick it in the wall and it's like $20 or $17 or something, but they say it's good up to 100 watts. I don't know what this radio, it's just bigger than a microwave. It's a great big thing. But it's a desktop. I'm not sure how many watts it'll pull, but
yeah, some of those will only do the 110. It'll give you the power connector on the 110, and then the others will actually convert it to 220.
Yeah, it's a step up transformer, but I'm not sure quality of anything else you get on Walmart or Amazon. So who knows? Anyway,
well,
but
cool.
it does have a tuning eye.
It does?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I guess we'll get started here. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to create a presentation, and I'm not super knowledgeable in this. So what I was going to do is just kind of share. We can look at a couple different websites here that have some information, and then whoever has some information that they want to include or kind of butt in at any time to add information, please let us know, because we're all here to learn. So, but yeah, it's one of the things that I've always liked about these radios is tuning eyes, but I've never really have delved into learning about them all that much. So the eye tube is typically referred to as a magic eye, a tuning indicator, or cat's eye. And I like this little video here of the tuning. So the magic eye tube is for tuning radio receivers and was invented in 1932 by Alan B. Dumont. I'm sure some of you guys know more about this guy than I do. But it looks like he was a electronics engineer, scientist, and inventor who improved cathode ray tube designs. Is anybody else familiar with Alan B. Dumont? I guess not. But we'll head back over to
Hey, Jake,
more of
I
the
was looking
history.
at that, and he said he had a 21-inch color TV tube in the, was it late 50s? 54. Wow. You know, the first commercial, I think, color TV was 64, wasn't it? With RCA had their color TV set.
It was before 64. It was in the mid 50s someplace.
Yeah, that
Oh,
sounds about right.
really? But I mean, there's
But
the successful one, when they actually pumped out a lot of them.
Yeah,
RCA.
it took a long time to get the standard settled down, right?
Yeah. RCA actually had color TV in in the lab working right before World War II. So and then the war broke out, and so they put it on the shelf till afterwards.
Oh, but when was it commercially available for, consumers? Does anyone know that? I was just kind of curious.
I remember seeing my grandmother had one in 64, and it the color on it, you could only get a couple of programs in color. I remember Bonanza was in color, but the color on the flesh tones was always something from bright red to some other color. You could never get the flesh tones right on those early ones.
Mm-hmm.
So the first commercially available tube was the RCA 6E5 in 1935. Earlier types like the EM34, you view from the end or the top, depending on how you want to look at it. And those were pretty common in most of the radios that we see. And then also test equipment, like I have, I'll see, stop sharing real quick. But I have this ICO resistance capacitance comparator bridge. So I don't know, I gotta scroll over so I can see my screen. There we go. But that's got a tuning eye or magic eye in it for different functions. And then also, let's see, what else did I have around here? And also my signal tracer has one of those types of tubes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to it'll allow me to share.
Are you
again.
talking about 1629 tubes?
Huh? Who was that?
This is Damon.
Oh, hi.
Were you guys talking about the 1629 tubes and test equipment?
We're talking about just magic eye tubes. So I was just kind of sharing some test equipment that I have that have magic eye tubes in them.
Yeah, a lot of
we're just
those I
talking about
think
them in
were
general at this point.
1629s
Yeah.
Well, isn't a
Okay.
1629 a 12-volt tube?
in the test equipment.
Yeah, it's a 12-volt
Correct.
filament.
It is a 12-volt version of like a 6E5, but it's a 12-volt.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. The other type, the EM84, you see these a lot in German radio sets, where you view them from the side, and it's like a kind of like a split bar graph almost.
George 6.
What
Yeah,
was that,
they're
Jim?
sideways a blue bar that meets in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
They're also known as a 6 FG6 GM80.
See, it looks like there's also a what?
Yeah, a lot of hi-fi and stereo.
5-way
Mhm.
loop.
A lot of hi-fi and stereo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's also a sub-miniature version with wire ends intended for battery receivers as well. I don't think I've actually ever seen one of those. Do any of you have a radio with one of those?
I have a
No,
little
neither have I.
I have a little portable that has one of those in it. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
that was from
It's
Europe.
like a H13 or N13 or something.
Yeah, 1M3.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake, I was looking at the posts up here in this information, and it seems
Mm-hmm.
like iTubes were kind of a short-lived thing in radios. And one of the comments up there said that not until
Was it?
1960 that the meters were made cheap enough to replace indicator tubes. But I think iTubes and radios went out fairly quickly.
They
So
did. I think most of them kind of went away by World War II.
yeah,
Um,
so what did, even though that the meters were made cheaper in 19, was it 1960 or something like that?
mhm,
What did they do between the time that the iTubes are phased out, let's say in the early 40s to 1960,
mhm,
when Japan made cheap meters?
mhm. Well, at least with most of the radios I've seen, and probably you guys have seen it as well, they just kind of forgo any sort of indicator as sets kind of got cheaper and cheaper as they try to cut costs out. That was something that kind of got dropped from a lot of, especially tabletop radios. Um, so a lot of my later radios, they don't have any sort of indicator to them, just your dial scale.
Thinking
Um,
that maybe iTubes were dropped just because it was too expensive to put them in radios?
yeah, that's my guess. Um,
Yeah, and they stayed in European radios, which are considered to be
they did like
expensive, right?
A
Yeah,
lot of German radios that are like from the 50s still had them
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But at least here in the
Well, and
US,
especially
not
in
so
the
much.
high end
Yeah.
US.
Hmm.
Like I had a 1956 Magnavox console AM FM 1956, it had a 65. So in some of the higher end consoles, the more expensive ones, people could get those.
Hmm. Yep, for sure.
So yeah, there was many varieties, and even some of the military. I've seen some of the Sencor tube testers that
Hmm.
had a tube in a. It was a 6 Alpha Frank 6, and it was half the the tall. It was really short, stubby octal tube. I think 6 volt, but a 6 Alpha Frank 6, and they were used in some of the small portable tube testers in the 50s.
Hmm. Oh, and one other thing, I think it was up top somewhere. But oh yeah, right here. So an earlier tuning aid before the Magic Eye was the tune-on neon lamp. Has anybody seen a radio that has that as an indicator?
I've never seen that, but of course we all know about the shadow meter.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
shadow meter. I've
Shadow
never
meter is
seen a
pretty
neon
common.
tube.
Yeah, I haven't either. But I remember I was looking through this earlier and I had not seen a radio with one of those. So I was wondering if anybody else has. But yeah, I have several Philcos with shadow meters in them. So I'm familiar with those. Um, is anybody here pretty familiar with how they work? Because I'm sure someone else would be better at explaining how they work than me.
Yeah, that was my question, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking at this Silvertone radio that I just finished that had a 6U5 in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to substitute a 6E5 and it works fine. But it looks like, if you go the grid on the tuning eye tube goes back to looks like the IF circuit. Yeah. So an IF level is on the grid.
It's typically going to be the AGC voltage.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it would be. But then, of course, it's a gas-filled tube, and there must be something mechanical about the plate and I think there's a T, which I think is tuning level or something on it, that mechanically makes it so that the distance between the plates varies, and the voltage developed by the AGC then is going to affect that and cause the gas to ionize at a different level. That's just conjecture on my part, but I don't know how else it would work. Does anybody have any better explanation of that?
From what I understand, the rod that's in the center of the tuning eye, and then underneath it varies the voltage onto the actual phosphor, the green phosphor, blue phosphor, and whether it's positive or negative voltage is what changes the angle of the shadow, from what I understand.
Okay.
And then they put a triode in there so it doesn't load down the circuit that you're
Now,
using to control it.
Is it a phosphor that is actuated by an electron beam, or is it a gas-filled?
Yes, it's actually a phosphor, and like the 6E5, the green phosphor, I'm not sure exactly how the Europeans did it on like the EM84s. Probably same principle, but a different type of phosphor.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think, yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
So I know green is the most common that you see for the tubes that you view from the top or the end. But have you guys seen any other colors for that style of tuning eye tube?
They always seem to be green when I've seen them.
Yeah. I was just curious if you guys run across anything
But it kind of
unusual.
looks like early oscilloscope phosphor, displays. Same color of green.
I just put 2 items in the chat. The second one has a pretty good basic description of the tuning eye. There's another one I had found previously, but I'm having trouble locating it. And then the first one, I've actually bought the boards for. You can make your own tuning eye with LEDs. And if you look at this guy's project, he actually explains a lot about how they work and stuff too. And as you drill down in all of his stuff, but I have a couple of these boards. I've never assembled them yet. What he's done is he's there's a whole bunch of LEDs in the row there. There's 120 of them, I think. And then he takes the input and runs it through an analog to digital converter to figure out which ones to turn on. It's a pretty cool project. If I ever get it built, I just have too many things to do. It's sitting here in a package. But I did order the boards from them.
No, cool.
But the soldering of the LEDs, probably hot air is the best way to go. Super nice guy. He's up in Canada. And what he's
Yep.
showing here is on the right-hand side is the what a normal tuning eye would look like. The left-hand side is what his board does. And then if you diffuse it, and he's tried lots of different things like wax and other things to diffuse it, he can get it pretty close to looking like a tuning eye.
So is it adaptable to a old radio?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's he pulls in the let's see, I think somewhere on that page, he's got his schematic. Oh gosh. Should be on there somewhere. Schematic down there for the composite schematic for the ST5. Yeah.
Oh, right there, yeah.
Take a look at that. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
here you can see he's just taking the voltage in through I think an op amp on the left hand side, goes into the like the A to D converter, and then it from there it goes out to the LEDs.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've come across this just looking on the internet before, but have not looked into the circuitry at all yet.
So yeah, kind of a fun project, but like I say, the soldering of the LEDs are like little grains of rice,
Yeah.
and
I bet, yeah.
I've been planning on building them. I just, like I say, just too many other projects, but at least I have them here.
Yeah, All right, let's see if it'll let me. I have to pull this back up here. So yeah, this was the other link they had shared. See if I can move my little things around so I can view it too. So it's a cathode ray tube, which shows a deflection on a target, depending on the voltage applied to the triode grid. The tube is a combination of an ordinary triode section with two special electrodes, a target anode, and a deflector electrode.
Yeah, that kind of adds to what I was talking about. So yeah, if you read more in depth, that'll explain it better.
Yeah. The target anode has a coating of fluorescent material that glows when struck by electrons. The target anode is connected to B plus of the receiver and attracts electrons from the cathode. The deflector electrode is a thin vertical vein between the cathode and the target and is connected to the plate of the triode section. See, the vein shades a small portion of the target and prevents some of the electrons from striking that part of the target, leaving a non-fluorescent or shadow area. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Cool.
There's the 1 meg resistor you're talking about too.
Yeah, that right there. Typically it's built into the socket.
Yeah.
On mine, I found that it was just completely open, and it's really hard to get in to replace it in the socket as is. So I just had it stick out the back of the socket, which worked just as easily. There's normally plenty of room there when I put the new resistor in.
Now, is that the resistor? I was trying to remember if you've got a dim eye tube. Sometimes I think that's the resistor you change, right? And it'll you can increase the intensity. It's not great for the tube, but if you've got a dead tube anyway, you can get a little bit more life out of it.
Or if that resistor is just way out of spec,
Oh yeah, if it's out of spec, for sure.
Bringing it back into spec will help as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, the schematic on this radio I worked on had 250K ohm resistor listed.
Mm-hmm.
The resistor actually measured about, it was over a meg, like 1.5 meg. So I put a 250K in there, and it did brighten it up.
Yeah,
Nice.
and that'll depend on what type of tube it is. This is a 6U5 here.
Yeah, that's what was listed on the schematic, was 6U5.
Yeah,
But I put 6E5 in its place because 6U5 was dead.
the 6U5, 6E5 difference, I played around with them and looked on articles on that. It's typically the amount it opens, sort of the sensitivity to opening. So if you're if it just won't move at all, or if it is always completely closed, try the other tube. And that may, because a lot of people just interchanged them too. So just because the radio you're working on comes with one doesn't mean that that's actually what was called for originally.
I see.
Yeah. They're interchangeable. It's just what somebody put in the radio to make the radio work. But look at the schematic. If you want to be original, look at the schematic and find the tube that was listed in the schematic. That would probably give you the best results, like he's saying.
Yeah. This tube that I have in here, the 6E5, it's not the shadow area actually is on both sides of the tube, or top and bottom, depending on how it's oriented. But others that I've had, like on my capacitance checker, it's a big shadow on one side that just closes up. But this one's got two shadows, and there's not a lot of shadow space on it. But when you tune the radio, the shadow disappears completely.
That kind of sounds similar to a 6T5, 6 telephone 5, like in some of the high-end Zeniths, because I think the 6T5 was a special tube that Zenith used to have two shadows.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, this is a 6E5, but it's got two shadows, so I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it's the circuit doing it.
Yeah, it could. Well, it seems like it would have to be designed that way.
Yeah.
To have the two shadows. I'm not sure how that could be. I don't know.
Yeah, depending on the tube, there's several different ways it could have worked. You guys can see this website, right? The display patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got a good kind of illustration graphic of what each tube type looks like and how it's, where it's categorized. Looks like here where there's a couple different tubes where each shadow can be individually controlled. So it's almost like 2 indicators in one. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can go back to that one. So I had a question for you guys. I have heard that you guys can look at, it might be possible just to look at the face of the iTube and tell if it's, I guess maybe it's the, how the phosphor coating looks, but see if it's nearing the end of its life or if it's still pretty fresh. I don't know if that is true or not.
I've not been able to tell that way.
Okay.
I mean, you can kind of see when they're on.
Yeah, when they're on, but just off.
It'll be kind of spotty. And weak.
I
know there was a listing in my tube tester for one of these things.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah, this 6E5 I'm looking at actually has two, if you can see, or probably not, but you can actually see on each side there's kind of a light area there, and that's where the shadow would be produced on the tube. So it's one on each side instead of one on, just, it's more like the top display that you had up there a minute ago, top center one.
Are you able to
Do
hold
you
that
know
up
what?
closer to the camera?
Yeah, what brand is the tube manufactured by?
Sylvania. 65.
Sylvania.
Yep.
It's just gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I could fire this up. This tube. I'll turn this radio on without the sound. And I can show you what it looks like in the radio. I think if I can get this turned around. Let it warm up a little bit. Here we go.
Mine's just kind of a grayish white all the way around.
Can you guys see that tube in my radio?
You're off center.
Almost.
Go to your right just a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm upside down and backwards here. That's pretty normal for me. Yeah, so I'm just tuning past the station.
Can you move it up a little bit? There, a little more.
That's so much for your time. I don't know if you can see that.
Now, how did that feel to be able to win the WCC once again and know that you'll be?
If you could go up just a little bit more, I think, yeah, like right there.
So much about.
I'm trying to look at it.
What?
See, there's a shadow. No shadow. Anyway, I don't know if you can see that, but it's on each side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, and I've tried a couple of, I've got 3 of these 65s and they all kind of look the same in there. So I don't know.
Did they all react with both shadows when you plugged it in the radio?
Yep. All 3 of them did.
Huh. Maybe it's the circuit that the radio is piping through the triode in the tube.
It could be, but it's coming off of the AGC, fed to the grid, and the other is high voltage, to the plate through the 250K resistor and then straight to the T terminal, which is, I can't remember what it's called right now. The T stands for tuning, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, all we've got is a cathode with a 1 meg cathode resistor.
Yeah, it seems a little odd that a 6E5 would do 2 shadows like that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought too.
That's kind of uncommon for that type of tube.
Yeah, and it's not a big shadow on it either.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure at this point. I mean, the AGC seems to work.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's just interesting.
Yeah.
So I've never seen a common 6E5, 6G5, 6U5 do 2 shadows like that.
Wonder how that could be.
Yeah.
Wonder how the circuit could affect that.
Have you
really
checked the
like
voltages out of the socket?
Yeah, they're proper. Yeah, it's 100. Yeah, the plate 100 and about 195 volts.
They match the circuit. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to get into it. Look, I was just going to call it good, but maybe I'll have to go back in and have another look at it just to see what's going on there.
I wonder if it was mislabeled because the
tube
could be.
Yeah, my signal tracer is supposed to have that same tube, 6E5, but it only comes up with the shadow on one side. Has the like Jake's or has the little cover over the top side, so you have to dip down and look underneath it to see it anyway.
Well, it could be. I'm looking at the. I'm looking.
Does it have like a? Oh, let's see if the camera picks it up. A hood, kind of like this radio does.
Yeah, it says 65 on the side of the tube. I don't know. Other than that, what I can read it. They're pretty old.
Yeah.
You know, they get
Oh
rough.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it does work. It just works differently, I guess. I don't know what to say about that.
Yep.
Yeah, what you got there, Jim, looks good.
Yeah, that's mine. And then as you tune in a station, it will come together on the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I'm accustomed to also on a capacitance checker.
That was one of my hoarder finds.
Oh, nice.
I was amazed because it had a bad tube, and I had happened to pick up a little baggie with 4 or 5 tubes in it, and actually 2 of the tubes in it were the ones to replace the one that was bad.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got lucky.
Was that from the hoarder thing last week?
Well, it's been a month ago.
2 weeks
I
ago?
went there the first couple times. I didn't go last week. But yes, same place. Same place. Yep.
Okay. So there was a lot of radios there for you guys to find and fix?
Well, yeah, that's kind of say it loosely. They were in various sundry stages of disrepair.
Yeah.
A lot of them that didn't have any screws in the, I mean, they were bits and pieces for some of them. This happened to be one that was all put together. So I brought the signal tracer home. I didn't have one, and I recapped it and replaced the tube, and now it works. So I'm happy.
Awesome.
So we were kind of talking earlier about substituting iTubes. Which ones have you guys found that are usually pretty compatible with each other when switching back and forth? So we were just talking about
well, the 6E5s and the
6U5
and the 6U5s are pretty close. I mean, you can you'll just see a difference in how quickly they are to close.
And the 1629, except for its 12 volts.
So what do you got there, Myron?
Oh, this is a heat kit capacitor checker. I haven't fired it up to know what it does. I just thought I'd show the iTube. So I can't make it do anything. I mean, I guess I could put a capacitor on it and see what happened, but I just wanted to show that.
Nice.
And I have a couple of, I actually have 3 different iTubes that I was going to show off here. This is a EMM 803. So I believe if you were to look at those display patterns, stuff that you had with display patterns.
Oh yeah. Let me pull that back
because
up.
it's MM, I believe it has 2 different independent displays on it. Because in the European nomenclature, MM means that there's 2 different ones. Like an ECC is 2 triodes. So this is an EMM, and M means magic. So it's got 2 magic eyes, right?
So is that middle
there
bottom?
It is. Yeah, the right-hand one on the bottom. So it does that. And of course, the 8 means that it's a 9-pin base, right? Well, you can't, you're not showing me anymore, but that's okay.
We are now.
Oh, all right. And then this other one, this is an EM71. So it has the normal target on the end, but see, it's kind of squat. And it has the, oh no, I'm sorry, I got the number wrong. This is a UM11. This is a UM11. So this is a German. So the 1 in the 11 refers to this base, which was a weird European base, which was the early European base. But it has the normal display, except it has a fat section in the middle here. See, it's kind of tapered. So that's a weird guy. And then one more here. Get it. This is the one. It's an EM71. And the 7 base is what we call Loctal. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've never seen one of these in the flesh, except for I have this box with a few of them in it. So it appears to have the normal display with a hood on top. I think you had one of those in the things you were showing, actually. It has that little weird hood.
Yeah, that one's built
on
in.
the top there. And again, 7 is the Loctal base. So these are just some weird iTubes that I have. They're all new original stock. With their wrappers and the whole thing. In the
Wow,
boxes.
That's cool.
And they
yeah. In my 25 years of collecting tubes, I had not seen those European versions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty unusual. I just got this whole cache of European tubes in the 90s, and this is some of the stuff that was in there. So UM11, this guy here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The U being a voltage designator, the U series is actually series filaments. So it draws 100 milliamps, and you put a bunch of these in series. So these are made for series connected radio sets or hi-fis or whatever. I've never seen any equipment that used them. But that EMM 803 guy, that would have been used probably in a tape recorder, most likely. And these have like a blue phosphor. It's not green. Typically, it's more bluish.
Yeah,
and inside it looks like, building a ship in a bottle. It's got all this stuff in there.
Yeah, that's the backside, and the white phosphor on the front when it's in the radio is blue.
Yeah,
the blue bars that mean in the middle.
But you can see it's just an incredible mechanical system that they use to build these things. So,
yeah.
So anyway, and I have some of those DM actually ones that you're talking about that are the miniature ones that go with just pin, just wire bases. Yeah, have some of those too. But anyway, just wanted to show off the collection. I have a tube caddy with nothing in it but iTubes.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
It's not full.
Yeah, but still, more than me.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Who else has iTubes in either test equipment or radios, or maybe something unusual like Myron's got? Be really cool if you had them and could share.
Well, I have a Zenith, a 39 Zenith that has a common 6U5. And then I have a Silvertone, which I picked up a couple years ago at one of the February auctions when we had 400 radios for sale. And actually, it was restored. Somebody had restored it, and it is working.
Oh, nice.
Let me see if it's still plugged in. Let me see. But yeah, I liked it because it was AM shortwave and it had the tuning eye. So let's see if it comes up here.
I have a ICO resistance capacitance comparator bridge.
Okay, yeah, that's what
you
I've
can
got.
see it, and it's got an eye in the right corner. When you put a capacitor on it, when you dial into the exact capacitance, of course, the eye opens up, tells you that you've got the right value.
Okay, let me see if I can share the video if this works. Okay, you guys can see let me turn it around. Yeah, that should be the Silvertone I'm pointing the camera at, right? You guys?
Yeah, it looks like we have to let the internet catch up. It's a little frozen.
Yeah,
Yep,
I'm out
there
here
it
in the
is.
shop away from the house. So.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, and then over there, I think it may be hidden now, but that's the 39 Zenith. So. Yeah, I kind of like the Silvertone. It actually does good on shortwave. Yeah, it's my favorite shortwave radio. So, but that's what I have so far for tuning eye radios. But that's why I like looking for them when they come into the club meetings. So. I'm gonna turn the video off.
Yeah, I've got one of those ICO multifunction capacitance resistance comparative bridge things as well.
Yeah, Jake, that's pretty much the same thing I have, I
Yeah.
think.
And the knob, I need to get that tightened on. Comes off.
I've got the older style one, the blue one of the same thing.
Oh, nice. I like the looks of those.
And the iTube works. Yay.
Yay.
Actually, I've gone through and calibrated all this. This one works pretty good. I never use it though.
Yeah, but it's still cool to have around it. Especially the older blue ICO stuff looks really cool. Just a really good aesthetic design.
Yeah, it looks impressive on the bench.
Yeah, Let's see. I don't think I have anything else that has an iTube that I haven't already shared.
I found this picture on the web. I really like that.
Definitely looks like a set of eyes right there, for sure.
Or I found on the web, eBay probably, a little kit. You can put a Magic Eye tube into any radio. You can sort of see it. It's a 6E2, apparently, according to the circuit board. I obviously haven't put it together yet, but for $5 or $6, I thought it would be fun to experiment with. Anybody had experience with something like that?
Wow, and you got the tube also for that price?
Yeah, it came. Oh yeah, tube and everything.
Remember when
Interesting.
Just need a couple of leads to connect it to your radio, and you're good to go.
When I was a kid, I bought a bag of parts and a schematic from an Army surplus place. I had to be about 12 or 13, and so it was a chassis and a bunch of parts. Put it together, and it had a tuning eye in it, but it was a Army surplus store, so I'm not sure when they put the parts together there, but was it did not have a transformer in it. I know that. So was it an AA5 probably? But anyway, it had a tuning eye. Never did have a chassis or a box to go around the thing. It had it. I don't know whatever happened to it, but being said, that bag of parts and that eye came from the post-war era. And I think you paid something like $5 for this bag of parts back then. So anyway, my first radio.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to say with my 39 Zenith, the reason I got into radios like that and with a tuning eye is I was probably about 8 years old. We went to my aunt and uncle's beach house in Garibaldi, and they had a similar higher end Zenith, probably a 10 or a 12 tube, and it had a tuning eye but didn't work. So I swore when I got old enough, I'd find a radio that was like it. And one came through from the Crawfordsville, but Esteban outbid me on that one. So I took this Zenith that I have here. and had Mike McCrow restore it. It's good enough to fill the void,
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I like tuning eye radios. Just I was always into light bulbs and stuff when I was little, and my uncle, he worked in electronics, and he built me a light bulb, the old like 40s and 50s cars that had the green flasher on the by the steering wheel, there's turn signal lights. He built one of those with an on-off switch and a transformer when I was probably 3. That's why I got into liking, any kind of lights. And when I saw my aunt and uncle's radio, that's where I saw the tuning eye, and I'm like, I wonder how that looks, and I saw other radios, but that's why I picked up the Zenith I have here. So, yeah, they're cool. They're cool just to stare at sometimes and, dream.
Yeah. So this was the another one I pulled out of the hoarder house. And it has an eye tube on it.
Nice.
I haven't plugged it in and done anything with it yet to see what works and doesn't work. It's missing the dial on it, but
what radio is it?
No, it's a tester. It's a CR Bridge signal tracer.
Oh, cool.
So I'll have to.
I don't know if I've ever heard of the brand.
Yeah, I don't know. What's that? It's SICO, Psycho.
Silco, huh?
Huh.
I don't know what. Just has the plug coming out the back. So I'll get to it one of these days. See if anything in it works or not. So.
Are you missing the other knob, or do you have that?
No, but it's missing a knob.
That might be tough to find.
Probably should have gone back last week to look for it. That wasn't going to happen.
You might spend all day just trying to look for it, though.
Yeah, no, you'd have never found it in that place.
No. Was that hoarder, was he just a hobbyist, or was he working on equipment?
No,
over the years?
Yeah, he was repair. He did repair on lots of different things. He did radios, but he did cuckoo clocks. There was all kinds of clock mechanisms, parts, frames.
Oh, wow.
Just tons of stuff. And then he also did machining barrels for old guns, old rifles, like 1700s.
Oh, wow.
He would take a black powder barrel and upgrade it to modern powder so people could shoot modern powders through them.
Oh, wow. Huh.
But it was, I mean, it was bad.
Well, is Pat still on the meeting?
He left, I think, a while ago.
Yeah.
It's probably been about 15 or 18 years. We had another hoarder place. It was downtown Portland. It was like third over behind the Northwest Natural Gas Building, like third or fourth or fifth, somewhere over there. And that place was like a time capsule. Some Asian family, the guy was repairing stuff in the 50s. He died, and then it was in the family until probably about 18 years ago when I first joined, a little after the radio club. And Pat was there. I think he kind of coordinated it. We went in. That place was, wow, packed higher and deeper, and you had to step sideways to get through the repair shop. And there's all sorts of radios that were in different conditions, and then tubes and all sorts of parts and stuff.
It was on Second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
For sure. I still see the building's still there.
Wow.
Was it like Second and Taylor? Is that what you're talking about?
It was just south of Burnside, like 3 or 4 blocks. Yeah, on Second. It was two different storefronts, and like one of them had been a radio shop, and then the other one, in the back, people had been cooking back there, and there was like grease on the walls and stuff like that. They'd been living back there for 15 or 20 years and never cleaned the place up.
Wow.
It was quite a place though, but it had been a radio shop and it had a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of it was, stuff that they couldn't repair. So like I got, a car radio that was supposed to have a speaker, it was missing the speaker, but there was a lot of stuff.
What's Doug got there?
Yes, so I've got a Greenough 941. It's a 1936. It's been in our family since the 70s. Picked it up at a garage sale and actually had Gary Marvin restored the case on it before I joined the club, and then I redid the electronics on it. And that, and so it plays nice. I won't turn. I mean, I can drop the volume, but um, uh, but the iTube is on there. This tube I think is a little weak. It's just not as bright as it I think could be. But you can see it moves as I move in and out of the station. But it's probably got a little bit of you can see some defects in the phosphorus a little bit that you wouldn't on a brand new tube. But I've got this one, and I've got Packard Bell 48. That's also 1936, but that one's not plugged in, so I can't turn it on. It's up on a shelf. Those are my, and I've got I think the same capacitor tester that everybody else has too.
Yeah. Well, cool. That's a beautiful radio.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, get the full view of the console there. The one console my wife will allow. There we go. It's kind of a weird angle on the camera, but
yeah, it looks great.
Mhm.
Hey, it looks like we have Mark Richardson joining us.
Hi.
Hi.
For some reason, for some reason, my camera's not working. I have to go do a little. I may have to duck off of here and come back. But
okay.
So something in my computer's not turned the camera on or something, and because it says it can't detect it. So I'm going to sign out and I'll come back and see if I can get it going here. Well, I'll come back anyway. So
okay.
All right. See you. Bye.
There's the Packard Bell up there on the shelf.
Oh, that's a nice one too. Yeah.
But yeah, it's got the tuning eye in there.
Oh yeah, kind of like in the back of the center of the dial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But it's 7 feet up and there's no power up there, so I can't turn it on very well.
Yeah. That's got an interesting speaker grill too.
Yeah. Yeah, I decided to keep that one. I mean, there's a bunch of ones that end up going to the swap meet, and that one was interesting enough. It's got some nice woodwork on it too. And
Well, cool.
Well, I'm going to sign off here, folks.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Prosper. Talk to you all later. See you Saturday.
Yep. See you Saturday.
So we might have asked Pat, what's going to be at the auction on Saturday?
I am not sure. I believe if there is one, it's going to be small. I have not.
I just saw it on the agenda.
So let me go back to that. Let's see.
I mean, I think there was something that didn't make it to the last auction, right?
Yeah, I think that was going to be auctioned off at an auction later this month.
Like the 28th or something, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's. Yeah, if there's an auction, it's going to be like a handful of things. Nothing big.
Sure.
But I'm not sure what it is yet, if anything. That might still be pending.
I have some stuff I'll probably bring to the meeting. A, a former next door neighbor contacted us and asked us if we could help clear out her dad's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I found 4 things that they want to sell. They all need repair, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pair of Marantz speakers that look to be in good shape, except the woofers need to be refoamed. The
Uh-huh.
foam is rotting. There's a 7 transistor portable radio that doesn't work, but when you move the volume control, you get some staticky noise out of it, but that's about it. No, the station. So that needs repair. There's what's plastic. That's the plastic radio. There's there's a clock radio, circa 1968, 9 or 1970-ish, plastic case. And that the clock works, but the radio doesn't. I think it's transistors. It looks cool. There's 4 things. Oh, the 4th thing is a Samsung Plasma TV, color TV, analog, no
Yeah.
digital. So,
Like one of the early plasmas.
yeah, the
So I was seeing if Mark has come back. Richardson. I don't see him yet.
that's the TV right there. If you can see that,
Okay.
and that's the Marantz speakers.
Yeah, they definitely need to be refoamed.
There's the clock radio and the transistor radio.
Yeah, old flat screen TVs, not a whole lot of value in those.
Not really.
I ended up giving one away that worked fine, but
Yeah, these speakers look like they might be pretty good. It's just that foam is the only damage I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so,
Just need to be refoamed.
yeah. And that
Yeah, you'll probably get people to bid on the speakers and the radios, but that TV probably will end up having to go to Goodwill because I don't think anybody's going to want older flat screens, like really old.
it is pretty heavy, so I think
Yeah,
that might
say
be
those
good.
old ones are pretty heavy. I have a Panasonic one.
Yeah.
And it's heavy.
Right.
Well, cool.
Well, I'm going to drop off. Thanks, Jake.
Okay.
You're doing a great job. I agree with Franklin.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Good seeing you guys. Thanks a lot for all the info.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. See you guys Saturday.
Okay.
Yep.
Saturday.
Hey Jake, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, you recognize this radio?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, well, all fixed up.
Nice.
Yeah, so it plays great. So
nice.
I recapped it and power cord and fixed the dial mechanism and
cool
things. So
awesome.
you can buy it back at the swap meet.
Who knows? Maybe I will. Well, that's awesome.
Okay.
All right. Good night.
Hey.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.